We the GamerCast is brought to you by Patreon support at patreon.com/makeusbetter. And I want to thank all of our executive producers, like our platinum executive producer, Mr. Corey Hicks, at twitch.tv/chicks_18, our gold executive producer, Mr. Mark Moody, Edwin Calo, Josh Bloodborne Borbone, Mike BC, and Panache Malloy, and all of our executive producers, Devin, Tyus, Kyle Haiman, Brendan Myers, Tony Hutchinson, Donnie Reece, Stephen Iafrate, Caro Underwood, Dante Bellini Jr., Kevin Austin, Tammi Ryan, Robert Miller, Tim Aulph, and David Ray. Thank you guys so much, and if you would like to become a supporter at patreon.com/makeusbetter, it helps support myself and PSVG and Warp Whistle Gaming and Nintendo Nostalgia. And by the way, Nintendo Shack just got their own feeds because of you guys. More to come on PSVG. Now, let's get on with the show. Hey, everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. Welcome to episode 174 of We the GamerCast. It comes to you on iTunes and Google Play and mother-loving YouTube.com/WeTheNerdy every single Monday. Thank you for being here, rating us on iTunes and all the good things, giving the thumbs up, leaving comments. Even if your comment is just, I'm leaving a comment, that helps, I think. Thank you for supporting at patreon.com/makeusbetter. And if you're not supporting over there, I'd be really grateful. I would be grateful, and it would be great if you guys rate us on iTunes, rate the show on iTunes. It helps grow and reach new audiences, and for the first time in a little while, I feel like I really want you to do that. I really want to grow. To grow the show and reach a new audience. I've been we're going to get to my chat with Brock McLaughlin in a second. But actually, if you're new, here's the deal. Every week I have tweet hangs with usually strangers from the internet, sometimes very good friends. And if you want to be on the show, tweet at me. I'm at Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. Okay, I needed to get that out of the way. Right now, it's Saturday. It's middle of the afternoon on Saturday, and actually, if you're watching the video, like, I'm a mess. Like, I don't even have my glasses on. I look like a disaster. My hair's all weird and stuff, and I just felt like I needed to sit down at the computer and just kind of talk. I was going to pull out a book and write some things down. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get some stuff off my chest a little bit. I've been feeling a little bit off lately. I was just messaging Lohr. I'm feeling a little bit off in terms of content. I feel like my, work is great. I just spent a week in the United States with my good friends, Bobby and Andrew and Jams, and we had a great time at Nintendo World. You guys can listen to If We're at Nintendo for a whole story on that. So, life couldn't be better. Lincoln is incredible. I mean, he's sick as hell, but, that's life. But with content, I have definitely been feeling a little bit off lately, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I was going to, write things down, but I'm like, why don't I just do the intro to We the GamerCast? It's the one thing where I get to talk to you guys directly and not have Bobby interrupt me every 2 seconds. I'm just kidding, Bobby. I love you. And the Xbox Drive is a half an hour to 40-minute show, so there's no time for that. But that's what this is for. This is a very personal show, and I joked about it a little while ago when Johnny Casino relaunched Radio's Lame, where it's like, holy crap, man, he's on to something there. And it really made me evaluate and think about and self-reflect on this show and what is this. It started, I'm fiddling with my hair a little bit. Stop with the hair, Sean. Really reflect on the show. What is it? What do I want out of it? What stories do I want to tell? Are there more stories to be told and to discover? And what do I care about asking? It's not even just that I want to make a show that people can listen to that they'll enjoy. Of course, that's what I want, but I think that would be short-lived if I'm not making a show that I would want to listen to, which I'm inspired by Scott C. Jones with Heavily Pixelated. He created a show that he wanted to listen to, and I create the show in the same light. And for many of you who have been with me for a long, long time, have watched the show change and morph and evolve over the years. And I do feel like every once in a while, before every one of those metamorphoses happens, something like this, something like the last couple of weeks has happened, where I feel just a little bit off. I feel like something's not quite right. I'm fighting myself a little bit. And then I don't even know, somebody shows up, maybe it's a conversation I have, or maybe I just get a couple of good nights rest, or I think about something and have a bit of a brainstorm, and the show comes out the other side better. And I truly feel that we're on episode 174 here. I've had so many conversations. Oh my goodness gracious, Lincoln is awake. I'm going to finish this, and he is wailing. Oh man. Okay, so I guess I'm going to cut this short a little bit. Trying to do this in the middle of nap time, and I was like kind of cheering that he was good. Okay, so I've been feeling off. I know that this is temporary, but I want to like kind of just communicate and just hear myself say it. Maybe it's important for you guys to hear me say it as well. But sometimes when I'll speak for myself as a content creator, sometimes I feel like at any moment this could all fall apart. Everybody goes away, everybody leaves Patreon, everybody just like stops listening, stops providing feedback, and all of those things. And of course, that's a possibility. You don't have to be here forever. I know that there's tons of new stuff happening all the time. But knowing that is a reality, an outcome that could happen, my brain kind of goes towards, why don't I just do it myself? Like, why would I wait for the eventuality? Like, sometimes it would be better if I just acted on my own accord and did things on my own. The show, by the way. And that's kind of where my mind goes, but that's not where I'm at. But like, the mind kind of brings that up every once in a while. Like, if you're stressed about everything kind of going away one day, or you're not feeling quite right about it, and because of that people will go away, then why not just end it? So that's kind of where I've been at, and the result of that, I feel like, is like I'm making podcasts and I feel like I'm brand new at it. Like, I'm not, like, I haven't been doing this for 3 years. Is it 3 or 4? I don't know. A little over 3 years, I think. And like, that's, I don't know, it's a weird feeling to have been doing it for so long, have had measurable, I don't know, the word success is weird, but like the Patreon's doing great. People are making their shows better all the time. The Nintendo Shack they got their own feeds. Like, we can demonstrate that that I've made an impact on people's lives, and yet still you're kind of like, what is it? You know, so it's just, I don't know, I'm kind of going through that kind of crap with this show. I haven't had my conversation with Brock yet, Brock McLaughlin from Brockstar Gaming and Game Moves podcast, one of my favorite human beings on the planet. He has opened 1,000 doors for me. He never had to do any of it, and so I'm so grateful for him. We're going to talk about some pretty heavy stuff, I think. That's what I plan on doing anyway, so if we go off somewhere else, then like, this is going to be awkward. But Brock is one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, particularly in Canada. So watch out for our Canadian accents, guys, to explode, and we sort of like bring it out of each other, I think. So I just wanted to thank you guys for sticking with me through this. I don't know if some of you have noticed that the show's been a little bit off, or that I've been off. And if you have, and you're still here, thank you so much. It absolutely means the world to me. I will be pushing through this. I promise. It's something that, even as I say this, even as I talk about this, I feel like it's helping. Brock and I are going to have a great conversation, and I want to give a couple shout outs to Bobby, the Nintendo guru. His vlogs completely inspiring me. He's taken his stuff to the next level. Johnny Casino, Radio is Lame. Absolutely top-notch stuff, man. I am so proud and impressed that you have found something so great, and that people are connecting with, and is so focused. And I think that's probably the best thing about it for Johnny, is that this thing is focused, man. You're not scrambling anymore to find the thing. You found the thing, man. So like, hold on to it, because it is great and people love it. Okay, Beast. Every time I listen to you guys, I'm inspired. And of course, Nintendo Shack, the #1 Nintendo podcast on the internet. Guys, please go listen to the Nintendo Shack. If you even like Nintendo, even just a little bit, even if you liked it back in the day. By the way, look at this little NES controller I got for the NES Classic. I never thought I'd get one of those. Even if you just, maybe once upon a time you like Nintendo, go listen to Nintendo Shack, because it is unadulterated. Unadulterated? It's weird. Is that the word? They really like Nintendo, and they're unapologetic about it. They love Nintendo. Donnie, Caro, and Jason Lacey, please go subscribe to that. Share it with your friends. Rate it on iTunes. It is incredible. I've rambled on, and Lincoln is still wailing, but good thing. You guys want to hear it? Should you guys want to hear what life is like right now? That's life. So he slept for a grand total of maybe 20 minutes in between me rambling on about this and getting it all set up for the record. So why don't we just get right into it? Episode 174 of We the GamerCast starts with Brock McLaughlin. You can find him at Brock McLaughlin. It's like Brock McLaughlin. Find him on Game Moves podcast. Subscribe to that. And also at brockstargaming.com. Here he is, Brock McLaughlin.
I am actually growing it out for a role in a video that I'm shooting next week, and
Get outta
that's the
here.
only reason it's there. And I think it's hilarious, and women either love it or hate it. But I like all weekend I went to the bar and I was like, hey baby, I must ask you a question.
Come on. You did not.
I did, and then I got laughs, and then I'd be like, can I get you a drink? And they'd be like, oh, I'm like, alrighty, let's do this.
Wow.
It's a good line, man.
Yeah, I mean,
good fucking line.
I like that you have lines. I never had lines. Like Chelsea had to like hunt me down basically. Be like, no, seriously, like this is happening. I'm like, okay, I guess I've had a long time enough to think about this. There's no lines that happen with me.
If I'm gonna use a mustache, I'm gonna use it to my full advantage. You know?
Can you talk about the video? What's the video? What's the role?
I don't know if I can.
Oh, okay.
It's a video that's gonna come out in the new year. So like down
That's
the
sweet.
line for something exciting. It's for a game. Like it's
Yeah.
for a game related. Yeah. Which is pretty funny.
Well, the funny thing is,
I get to wear a very silk shirt.
oh, my mind is going a million miles an hour. What this could possibly be? As just so you know,
And it's not a 70s porno. It is not a 70s. I just want to put that out there.
I wasn't
know
going
I'm
there.
looking very.
I wasn't going there, but okay, okay. I have a couple things before we get into some hopefully maybe some serious stuff. I have a couple things that we can connect on. I got the V-neck going on, got a little bit the chest hair going. I think that's something we can both kind of just. Yours is just like, is there actually separation between your beard, and you got good separation between the beard and the chest hair?
You gotta trim that.
For sure.
That's just a grooming tip. I mean, you probably didn't expect to listen to the show and learn some grooming tips, but there you go.
You never know what you're gonna get here. Exactly. The neared. It's the neck beard. The neared.
That is a horrible look.
Yeah. But just so you know, I've already picked out the thumbnail for this week's episode, and it's Joseph Seed. And I can't remember. I seem to remember remember Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5. He's got the glasses.
Yes.
I feel like it's very you. I don't know why. He's just this
It is.
good-looking guy who's capable of like great he believes in everything. He's capable of accomplishing things that most people aren't. That's Brock McLaughlin. How could I choose anybody else?
Convincing people that join a cult that doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I feel like you have that in you, actually.
I do. Yeah.
I don't know why I get that feeling.
There's a story for another time, you know.
Well, that's what the show's all about, man. Have you ever been part of a cult?
Right.
Have you ever had like kind of breezes with a little bit of a cult or something that might resemble
I had
a cult?
like a little breeze with a thing called Choose Yourself. It was really weird. It was based on this text by James Altucher, and we got together every week, and I led these people in helping them choose their self in life.
What does that
It
mean?
was very
Choose
cult-esque.
yourself.
So you have to choose your best life, you know, doing things just for you, not for other people.
That sounds
And they
actually
come
really
and
good.
they
How do I join?
So I stopped doing that after about a year. It was really weird.
Why did you
But
stop?
there's a book called Choose Yourself you can pick up because I felt weird doing it, and I have, you know, I get tired of things very quickly, and then I give up and move on to something new. Sorry, I don't give up. I transcend it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much time, and life is too short for you to spend too much time on really anything. And for people who maybe this is the first time listening to you on the show, you've been on the show, I think, 3 or 4 times. And one of the first things that we talked about.
Every year.
Yeah, exactly. This is our annual check-in, and we've been able to touch each other in person, which I really love. And you're in a new place now. You've moved since the last time that we did the show.
Yes, I have. I'm in my own humble abode right now. Sorry, my Alexa just went off, and I'm very confused what she wanted.
I wonder you're not paying enough attention to her. At what point does Alexa become self-aware and like guilts all the guys into like paying more attention to her?
I'm only creeped out because I'm sure she's I unplugged her, so I'm very confused why she's talking to me right now. So you know she's mad.
We could be in for like the best episode of We the GamerCast ever, as like all the like electronics start to come to life, and this is where Skynet becomes self-aware. It's actually through Alexa.
That would be terrifying.
I mean, for you, it would be entertaining for me and the audience. Like, I'm a very safe distance from all of this. I would, but I would probably I would have to break my rule of putting this out on Monday because I would want the world to know as soon as possible that this thing is happening, and it would also be great for clicks. Let everybody know.
I mean, it's all about
Brock's
it's all
dead
about
now.
clickbait,
He's
right?
dead. He was killed by his electronics in his house. But how much? Okay, so
It's all about
the weird thing, Brock, is that kind of like segues into something that I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know if this is something that caused you to take a little bit of a break from social media, but my phone, when I updated it, it started telling me how much time I spend on it. Like there's a screen time report thing and how many times I pick it up and look at it.
I just got that notification for the first time today.
Yeah. That's
It's
terrifying.
creepy as all hell, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me find my phone.
Okay, well, if only I could fill space. If only there was a way for me to practice every single week of filling space.
Literally, we're on an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the iPhone that we're talking about. And all of a sudden, I feel like I've got like a parent looking after me again, because it's like, have you thought about your screen time? And I've always thought about screen times for kids. Like, it's probably a bad thing to be in front of a screen or looking at a screen for kids, but it's probably important for adults to maybe keep that in check as well. But I'm not sure what to think about this. It's weird.
I talk about this with my therapist a lot, as I spend too much time on the screen, so she's been trying to get me to cut back on it. What's the app called? How do I find this?
I don't know. It's always showed up as a notification. Where did I? So now I can like record my screen. I don't know, man. Apparently, like, and everybody should share their numbers in the comments or the Discord. And I don't know if last week was weird because I was on a plane a lot and just kind of like scrolling through some stuff, playing some apps. But I averaged like 3 hours a day on my phone. Like that's a lot, man. That's a giant percentage of my day.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think that's a problem.
I hate that it keeps track of your notifications. Like, I had 715 messenger messages. Like, that's too many messages.
Mm-hmm. Discord's like,
stop talking to me, people.
2,000 notifications on Discord last week. Which is like...
Yeah, that's too much. This is why I can't keep up with Discord. This is why I join Discords and I leave them so quickly. I don't know how you guys do it. There's just too much conversation all the time.
It's tough, and it's something that I've been thinking a lot about, is like, how much can you be present in those certain situations? Like I consider you a very close friend. We talk about all sorts of different things, but the amount of time and energy that we can like actually set aside that would actually correlate with how I value the friendship, it doesn't align. Like, it's very strange, because I think you're amazing, but I'm like, I can spend maybe a couple minutes a day conversing with Brock, maybe through Twitter or whatever, and it's like, that doesn't, like, I'm having a hard time reconciling that. I think
that's enough time. If you played Fortnite with me, we talk all the time.
That's enough time. I want to play Rocket League with you, Brock. I don't want to play Fortnite.
I play Rocket League. I'm surprisingly not bad at Rocket League. That's one game I'm not horrible at. I'm also really good at walking simulators.
Yeah, the multiplayer walking experience. They should have those. They should have... Well, I guess Journey is essentially that, but in sort of a weird way. Chirp, chirp, come over here. Yep. I think that's what I hear. I
just played through Transference this morning, which is a walking sim by Elijah Wood that they've been teasing at E3 for like 3 years now. It was short, but it was surprisingly good. I really liked it. I haven't played a walking sim in a time. I got really tired of them.
I thought I was done with them. I thought I was for sure done with them until the Vanishing of Ethan Carter came out, and then also a similar time. Crap, I always get the names mixed up. Who the heck was that? It's a big house, and you go through the different... That doesn't describe it at all, because that's Gone Home, but it's not Gone Home. The other one, oh man, somebody else is gonna have to help. It's a weird looking house. It's got like different parts where you become an eagle in part of it, and you become a monster.
Oh, I didn't like that
Edith
one.
Finch.
Hell?
Whatever happens to Edith Finch.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Got there eventually.
Nope, I did like Edith Finch. Never mind, I'm a liar. I did like that one.
I like both of them.
I don't know.
They all
blended into the same thing.
Too many E names. Walking simulators with an E, Edith Finch, and Ethan Carter, and all these. Yeah, it's weird. So, let's talk about 2018 a little bit here. I want to talk about like the games that have come out. What do you think of 2018 so far, man? Have you been keeping up? Have you been playing all the games? Is this a good year? Like, what do you think?
I've been playing pretty much everything. There's not many things I missed. Like, God of War is incredible. Spider-Man was okay. I think it's still very highly overrated.
You think so?
I think it's very overrated. Red Dead's about to come out, so I'm excited for that, obviously, like everyone else. I feel like September had a big game. Oh, Assassin's Creed has been amazing. I love it. I'm trying to think of what else has really captured my interest. Those are the three that kind of stand out. The main three, right? Detroit was okay.
Oh, I never did get to that one. Yeah. All these I've missed.
I can't believe you haven't played Detroit.
I want to. I think I'm going to pick it up on... It seems like a Black Friday game for me. Like, I'm already seeing it kind of come down in price, and if I can spend a little bit of time over Christmas, maybe I might maybe I might. It just didn't jump out at me as like I need to play this right now. And God of War had come out just before that, and I still haven't finished it. So
Yep. I've been playing Fortnite a lot, and that's been good for me. Yeah, like I don't even know where my Switch is. I haven't touched my Switch in ever.
yeah.
Donkey Kong was cool, but I already had that on the Wii U, right? Like it wasn't that different. Yeah, that's pretty much
Dang,
it. I haven't
man.
played any big indie games. Like I haven't played any whatchamacallit from last year.
Hollow Knight.
Oh man. No, the cute cartoon one with the animals, but it dealt with depression and suicide. Night in the Woods. Like there hasn't been anything like that for me this year.
Celeste was good at the beginning of the year, kind of a similar kind of.
Celeste was incredible.
Celeste was very
Okay,
good.
Celeste was incredible.
I think January is hard to remember. It's so long ago. January, like with I think Celeste came out, and then it was February where Far Cry 5, or maybe even March, like Far Cry 5 came out. I had a ton of fun with that.
Far Cry 5.
Oh, I didn't finish it. That's the caveat. Is that I think I'm on the third area, and I just kind of like played enough to feel like I love it. And I'm probably in the same situation with Assassin's Creed. I'll probably put in 20 or 30 hours, get 15% of the way through the game, and then kind of have it. But I kind of have a bit of a crush on Cassandra.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, man. Like, is it possible to be like
game.
in the game of the year kind of conversation?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Good. Yeah.
Easily. What about Forza for you?
Oh, okay. Can we talk real talk about Forza for a second?
Yeah,
Because I should talk about this. We'll have real talk about Forza. I haven't had really like a chance to really talk about this in a way because we sort of have to keep the Xbox Drive to about a half an hour, right? And Forza came out a couple weeks ago, and everybody's loving it. Here's the thing: I think it's now been out for long enough for us to kind of talk about the fact that it's not as good as Forza 3. I think my final verdict is that it's not as good as Horizon 3, but it's still great. And the thing is, this for so many people is their first Forza Horizon or even Forza game, period. So I don't want to like poo-poo it. I don't want to go like, yeah, it's great, but the last one was way better, in case people are kind of like getting into the groove and they're really enjoying it. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you like this one, go back. The last one will be cheaper now because it is, I think, one of the best racing game of the generation.
That's pretty much how my review ended up.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a cool game, but they really didn't bring any new innovation to the table other than some changing seasons. Other than that, it's not any different. There's a few more roads. There's like more cars, but I don't like the location at all compared to Forza Horizon 3.
Yeah, same here.
And Forza Horizon 3 just felt a lot funner. I don't like the characters in Horizon 4. They're goddamn annoying. The soundtracks are bad. Like, there's a lot of things I don't like, and it's just things that carried over from 3 I didn't like, and I feel like that's probably going forward how we're going to see Forza Horizon. It's not going to change that much, which is a shame. I wish they just added a bit more. I love the stunt mode thing in 4.
I wish the Horizon life kind of like it doesn't seem to really mean anything other than like filling those lines to go like from level 1 to level 10 to whatever for the stunt drivers and all the different categories of races. Like, it seems like it's good, but it doesn't lead to anything. And I just don't know why they kind of abandoned. You're responsible for building out the Horizon event. Like, I love that. Like, go to Surfer's Paradise or go to the Outback, and like you had to level up so that the actual festival expanded. I thought that was genius. I felt really responsible for the growth and how that world lived. And this one's just kind of like the things pop up. So I don't know. I have some problems with it, but I'm glad everybody seems to be liking it. This seems to be the one that everybody has jumped onto because of Game Pass. So
I'm curious to see. I honestly think motorbikes are coming.
Oh yeah, totally. You guys nailed it.
They have to be coming. Like the DLC has to include motorbikes. They're in the game already. You just can't use them, and it seems like there's things set up for the motorbikes when you're racing around.
Big time.
Because you can't drive through things, drive over things with your car, and it's like, why is this mini jump here?
It would be great because the strength that Horizon I think has is making things that people wouldn't normally play, makes them accessible and fun and exciting. So realistic-ish racing or driving all these different types of cars is fun and exciting. But most people, there are dirt racing or like motorbikes in other games. There's MotoGP, not a fun game. But so people will never experience like how good that could or should be. So yeah, let Horizon take care of that business. Let's do it.
I think so.
So yeah, man, I don't know. It's good, but I think I might be moving on to to Assassin's Creed. Call of Duty, honestly, has a lot of people playing it over this weekend, and I'm kind of intrigued, but $80 for a multiplayer-only game? You were playing it last night, weren't you?
I was. I got hyped up, and I was like, I'm going to review this. And then I started playing it, and I got extremely bored very fast.
Did you
Zombies,
really?
I don't understand.
Yeah, same.
I guess there's a lot of Easter eggs for fans that have played zombies for the last 10 years.
Sure.
I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried the Battle Royale mode. I was so bored.
Were you?
The map is so big. The circle moves so small. It was incredibly boring. It was
no.
not Fortnite. And then
Well.
I did some multiplayer, and there's heist missions that are a lot like Counter-Strike, which were fun, and I was enjoying myself doing that. But again, unless you're playing against people your level, like, you're just gonna die immediately, and it's not very fun. And there's not much
what were the
to the
visuals
game.
like? What were the? I was looking at the Battle Royale on. I was watching.
Janky as fuck, man.
It doesn't look that good, man. What the heck?
It doesn't look good. It's so janky. There's so much glitching going on.
Oh no.
And it's just not that impressive, especially coming from Forza and Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most impressive game in the world. This feels like a very light game. But
Yeah.
people are loving it because people love Call of Duty. But it is
Until they hate
very
it.
light on content. And not having a single player is really weird.
Yeah, I'm one of those people
there's
who really like the
single-player
single player.
elements.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's single player. There's story missions, kind of, in multiplayer. You, like, have cutscenes and stuff. It looks like, I don't know, they got cut and they were from the single player game. I don't know. It's weird. They should have had single player.
It'd be really interesting to have somebody go in and ask some probing questions about the development of this game, because it does, like, Battle Royale hasn't really been around that long. Like, the PUBG explosion happened essentially last year. So when they talked about how Black Ops 4 is not going to have a single player campaign because it's not going to be ready, at first I was like, how is that possible? These guys are on a 3-year dev cycle. But then I start to think about they just got derailed. They just kind of went from stop doing the single player campaign and start working on this Battle Royale thing. They maybe had like a year and a half to kind of do that, maybe. Then for sure. Yeah.
You would have like probably forecasted that Battle Royale was going to be big like that. So they probably started working on that probably a year and a half ago, maybe.
To be honest,
then just had to push it together real fast.
I feel a little weird about, and I've been encouraged by a lot of people to go out and buy it because everybody's playing it. So that's kind of the key. I know, but like, but
it also feels so much like Titanfall 2, man.
Oh, and I love Titanfall 2.
There's like,
I already have it, I guess.
There's sliding and there's hooks and stuff. Like, there's a lot they've ripped off of Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm. Dang it, man. Well, that's a story history between Call of Duty and the Titanfall crew, I think, which is interesting. But it's a full price game for essentially Battle Royale, which I could play for free in Fortnite, or I could play for, well, I already have PUBG, so it's just weird. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I've got a lot of other things on the go. So do you see yourself playing a lot of Call of Duty over the next little bit? Or is
probably will never pick it up again.
Really? You're really good at that.
Don't.
You're really good at just like, I've made my decision, I'm moving on, and I'm never looking back ever again. Like, do you ever, like, I don't know, I never really get a chance to ask you about that, but you seem always confident in, I never want to play that again. Do you ever have regrets of like making that decision maybe prematurely? Do you ever have any premature problems?
The only time I ever made that mistake was with Fortnite. It took me a long time to get into that, but my God, it was worth it. But everything else, like, I'm gonna uninstall Call of Duty now. It's too big of a file. I don't need it on there.
Yeah.
I have no interest. I should have known this going in, though. I don't like Call of Duty games. I told myself I would not like this Call of Duty game, and I was right. This is not a game for me.
That's a sad realization.
And it's a game for a lot of people. I think a lot of people have longtime friends they've made on Call of Duty, right? And this kind of brings them back. It's like, oh, we get together again and play a game we grew up on and stuff. And that's cool for some people. I have no nostalgia with Call of Duty.
Well, you got it. You squeezed it in there before Red Dead comes out and all the... what else is after Red Dead? I feel like there's got to be some more stuff. Smash is coming out at the end of the month, but we're probably not going to be... We're not hyped about Smash. What do we play? Like 3 matches together? It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'll be okay not on Smash.
I know, we're making enemies here, man. People are gonna be real mad at us. The most like popular. How many other like hugely popular things should we take shots at today? I don't love Fortnite, so there's that. Pokemon Go, or are you gonna do the Let's Go?
I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out, man. That's gonna be my big one. What else is coming out? I'm trying to think.
I know. I feel like
You know,
Luke
I don't know.
always brings it up on the Xbox Drive. He's got the whole list. But I want to ask you, kind of as we reflect about 2018 with games, like how has it been outside of games? How like is 2018? I don't know. We start to come to the end of the year here. We're in mid-October as we're chatting. Christmas is going to be here before we know it. There will be the New Year. It'll be like we're going to be starting to make our whole New Year's resolutions all over again. So how, as things start to wrap up, like how's the year gone for you personally, professionally, and all that stuff?
It's been a year, man.
Yeah.
It's been a Fallout 76. That's coming out.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure your wife is excited.
I have it pre-ordered for her.
Oh,
She doesn't listen
romantic.
to the show. I know. Might be a push present. It'd be like,
Oh, and don't forget Leisure Suit Larry is coming out too.
I did forget. Thank you for telling me.
Who doesn't want a new Leisure Suit Larry?
Mm-hmm.
Spyro for people that like torturing themselves in bad games.
Yeah, that's so boring.
Oops. It's so boring.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's been. I tried to avoid the question there for a second.
I know.
It's been a weird year. I mean, everything was going well, and then I kind of took a back seat to the gaming. I just didn't feel like writing anymore. I went to E3 this year for the first time. Didn't really love my experience there.
Yeah.
I left early. I was not feeling it. I didn't like a lot of what I was seeing, and I didn't like the whole experience. And I kind of backed out, and I just went about living my life and, you know, stayed on social, but didn't write and didn't feel like writing. And maybe it was the hot weather, and I was in a new relationship, and I just didn't feel up to it. And then I got hit with depression and some other shit related to a lot of like my past history catching up to me that I was trying to run from and avoid. And that hit me hard, and I left social and I went kind of silent on the world and started therapy, intense therapy. Well, I was in therapy already. They switched me to a more intense therapy, and I had to figure out myself and what I wanted to do, and if I wanted to do gaming or if I wanted to do anything. And I sat in this very room a long time and didn't want to think about that, and I played a lot of Fortnite, and Fortnite kind of saved me. And Fortnite was the first video game I got lost in again, and I actually enjoyed playing, and it made me feel less alone, and I got to talk to a lot of cool people at night, and we just got to chill out, and I couldn't sleep because of the insomnia, and that was fun. So I just stay up all night playing Fortnite, and then going to work, and then rushing home to play more Fortnite, because that was my life cycle for a while. And then I finally got better or well enough to start rethinking what I wanted to do, and I started writing again, thanks to my therapist. And she got me writing about games or personal experience. Or sorry, she got me writing about personal experiences, and I started writing about my personal experiences and started tying them into my gaming life and why I find gaming so important and why gaming kind of got me through. When I first started showing signs of depression like years ago, I went and bought a modded Xbox 360, and I started playing that and playing a ton of games and just getting lost in that world. And this is, it's helped me a lot. It's a good distraction, but it's a distraction I use to my advantage, because then I can write about it and my struggles and how I see myself in the game and how it's helped me in the real world. Like I've written about Forza and how it distracts me through music, and Assassin's Creed, and how it helped me stop drinking, and what else?
Are you like flat out not drinking at all, or like just taking like maybe just watching it?
No, I'm taking it in. I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
Like it was too much, and when you fall down a rabbit hole and you go into this dark place, you feel the need to numb yourself all the time. And I didn't want to deal with my emotions I was going through, so I numbed the pain somehow, and I found any which way I could, and drinking was an easy, accessible way. And I didn't think in the moment that I was doing anything wrong, because I was like, oh, I'm out being social. If I wasn't being social, I'd just be sad at home.
Well, and the social part is the reinforcement. It's like, well, I'm out and about, and I'm with friends, and I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. Like, how could this be bad? And I asked about whether or not you want like kind of cold turkey or not, because I actually went 2.5 years without having a single drop, like not a beer, not a sip, no nothing. And it was less about like my own struggles at the time, but more about a friend of mine who he was suffering from depression from high school, from when I knew him. And then he ultimately he parked himself in his garage and opened the windows and let the car run, and he went to sleep. And he always had a drinking problem. He always had a, but you never really think of it. Like he was very much like a functioning alcoholic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Always happy.
And that's worrisome.
It is scary. And
You know?
I was like, and
it sucks.
Mm-hmm. And so I connected with that big time of like, it's so easy to hide what the real problem is. So I was like, I don't want to, even if, because I knew there was something there, but I hadn't really like gotten to like my lowest low at that point. But I'm like, I don't even want to try and encourage that, because it's almost like alcohol kind of like fuels it, even though you think it's a coping mechanism. It just fuels and you get down into that hole. So I was just like, I want to wait for just see if I could do it. And 2.5 years was great, man. It just I got to have a different and better relationship with alcohol and with like socializing and being out and about. So, and now it's just like you can just be responsible about it, which sounds boring as hell, because like who doesn't love a good cake stand or shotgun and a couple of beers? Like it's good times, man. Like you have fun with it, but there's definitely a limit. So I'm happy that, I mean, I'm not happy that the low point of the journey happened to you, but it does seem like you've identified like the pain points a little bit.
I needed the low point of the journey to happen, though. Yeah. It was a long time coming. I was running from it for so long, and it sucks in the way it happened. I wish I was more prepared, but I mean, who's ever prepared for something like that, right?
Yeah.
You just have to deal with it. And my family has a long history of alcoholism, from my mother to my father to their parents to my aunts, my uncles. There's a lot of drinking in my family, and I've seen like family members die from over drinking and, you know, and what comes with drinking.
Yeah.
And I've always had to be very self-aware of that and scared of that. And then sometimes I'll let myself go and I'll just drink. Mm-hmm. And I like being social, and I was never held accountable for my actions when I drank. I could get away with it because I was functioning, and it would be okay for me to do, you know, things, and no one would hold me to that standard, and no one is now, but I need to hold myself to that standard. And by writing about it and by talking about it now puts me on a line that I'm going to stay in and stay straight on the course now, because I need to hold myself out to that, you know, for what I've been doing.
I think it's really neat because it's like this, it hits so many boxes for you, at least. And what I'm observing is the whole, like, it gets you back writing, being creative and having that outlet, always positive. It makes what you're creating unique, because nobody's doing this. Like your review of The Horseman, BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman.
Yeah,
I think was that the first one that you did?
That one took a long time to write. Yeah, that took a long time to write, and I wasn't used to doing that because usually I just wrote and I was like, okay, it's done, let's put it out there. Mm-hmm. But this one, I was like, fuck, I went over and over and over again, and I was terrified to put it out there because I exposed so much of myself and I was vulnerable, and I'm not used to being vulnerable. Like, it's a very different side of me. Everyone knows I usually just joke around and like everything's like half-assed and funny. Where this is very serious, and it's a new character build for me.
Well, part of it, like, so was it the last time you were on the show? You had just started doing stand-up comedy, so like it's not like facing your fears is something that is new for you. You're always doing something new, and I think that you're very quick at it. Like I'm very slow. If something's brand new to me, I'm like, okay, give me a couple years, and maybe I'll be able to like figure this out. But like you pick up something new, and I think that's like it comes from you moving a lot when you were younger to just you kind of carried it through. You pick things up so quickly, and maybe the mental health aspect is part of that. It's just a skill set that you practice over the years.
I guess so. It's probably because I'm high functioning in some degree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do pick up things quick, but there's also like another side where I'm constantly reading and constantly researching and looking these things up. Mm-hmm. I mean, if there's one thing that insomnia is good for, it's you get to stay up and read a lot and learn a lot because there's nothing else to do. Mm-hmm. And for a while there, I was really trying to sleep, and then you don't know if you're dreaming or you're not or you're awake. It gets very, very weird. So I've gone back to just kind of reading and staying up and meditating's really helped me a lot.
It's powerful, man.
For any of those who don't meditate, you should really start, even if you don't feel sad. If you're one of those people that wake up happy, you know who you are, you crazy people,
You
you.
suckers.
But you
Yeah.
should still meditate. Yeah, you
Yeah.
suckers.
Not suckers,
know what
you
it's
mother
so
truckers.
pain.
I was censoring a little bit. I heard a trick actually for people who are like, if you're feeling really great, you're like, man, life is awesome right now. I wake up happy, everything's great. Write yourself a letter congratulating yourself. Like, write yourself a "you're awesome" letter and keep it with you so that when times get a little rough, you pull that letter out and you're like, hey man, I know things are tough, but just so you know, you're smart and you do great things. You've accomplished all these things this year, and when you face this challenge, you're able to do this, and remind yourself of all the things that you're good at. And it sounds like it's coming from somebody else, but nobody knows it better than you. So I thought that was kind of a neat trick. What was
I do that in the morning. I don't write letters, but I tell myself, you love yourself in the shower, and
hearing it out
you
loud
go through
is
like
huge.
your affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
I have 7 affirmations, and you talk to yourself, and I've always talked to myself. I'm an only child. Like, I didn't have like anyone around. I literally talked to myself. Well, I didn't tell myself I love myself. I didn't tell myself I was proud of me.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, I'd shoot the shit pretty much with myself and have full conversations, but not about myself.
Yeah.
And it feels really good to get that out there and talk about yourself to yourself, and tell yourself that you're doing good, and
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself what you've accomplished is important, and people love you, and people listen, and you're a spark in the world, and stuff like that. And I thought it was so cheesy to say that.
Yeah.
And then I started doing it, and hell, it's still cheesy, but it feels really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cheesy is not a reason not to do it, but yeah, like you start to, I don't know, I was surprised at how quickly some of those like mental health exercises started to actually work. Like when I try to get back in shape, it takes me forever if it ever actually even happens. Like, I'll be running forever and I'm trying to eat well and I'm like, this is just not working. But I try to do a couple like little things. I guess it's like, if you're, and I don't mean to be offensive to anybody here, but if you're large, like the first 5 pounds are kind of easy, but as you start to try and lose like the last like 10 or 15 pounds, it becomes really, really difficult. But so maybe that's it with like mental health. If I'm just like really damaged, I do just a little thing, there's low hanging fruit, and then things get a lot better, like that you notice it, and you starts that positive reinforcement of, I'm going to keep doing this because I feel better. And if I stop doing it, I'm going to feel worse and regress a little bit. What was the trigger to either you ask for that intensive, like to take the turn from like the therapy you were into the more intense stuff?
I didn't make that choice. They made it for me.
Yeah.
So that was predetermined. And then they're like, yeah, I work at a company that provides very good benefits and mental health program. So my therapist at the time had talked with my HR department about switching me to a new program.
Mm-hmm.
So I started that program, I guess 7 weeks ago now. Shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost been 2 months, I think. And I hated her. I like my old therapist a lot.
Yeah.
And the first 2 sessions I did not like. And the problem was I was starting over again, and she was mainly just listening to me and not giving me advice. And it was a lot of me just talking to myself, and I was confused and I was angry. And the third time I came in, she's like, how do you feel? And I was like, I don't like you. She's like, what? And I was like, I don't like you at all. You're not working.
Mm-hmm.
And that started a whole thing. And we're very much on the same page now. And I realized that I'm not supposed to like her. I like my old therapist because she kind of agreed with me, where this one doesn't. She gives me shit, and she holds me accountable for what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows I'm very self-aware. I know I know what I'm doing. I just can't stop myself from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I love causing myself misery and this pain. And it's just about breathing and taking a step back and really listening to her, and it's been really good. And I look at pictures of myself too, and like I see such a difference.
Yeah.
Not so much this week. It's been a weird week. It's been a low week again. But like
I thought it had something to do with the mustache. Maybe it was the mustache.
It's probably something to do with the mustache. No, but I looked at myself. I was like, holy shit! Like, I haven't smiled like that since I was a kid. Like, there's like a glimmer of hope there in my eye,
mm-hmm.
where it disappeared for a long time, and I didn't realize that. And one of the big things I've noticed too is just the amount of weight that's lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah.
I don't feel so tense all the time,
mm-hmm.
which is nice. That is a reason to go to therapy alone, is to get that pressure off your back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like actually getting out of bed, like it sounds like you get out of bed on the wrong side, or you get up on the wrong side of bed. It feels like you're always getting up on the right side of bed. It feels like you got a spring in your step, and you can, I don't know, just converse with people in a more positive way. The way that I described it when I was like kind of in my low point was that I felt like if I was in a room, I was sucking energy out, even if I wasn't doing anything. Just by like being in the room, I felt like everybody's having a horrible time. People are becoming in a bad mood just because I'm there, which is completely irrational. Doesn't make any sense at all. But it was so palpable that I was just like, I don't want to be here. It almost like translated into a social anxiety of like, get me out of this room because I feel like everybody's having a worse time because I'm here, which is like, that's pretty dark stuff, man. Like it's not a fun feeling. And there's nothing, I don't think that I really did to address that specifically other than to just figure out what are the things that make me feel good in life. And for me, it was, I like exercising. I think that like having that high or whatever it is that release, I think is important. I like doing this. So I kind of had to like force myself to carve out time for those things that helped me be better instead of the entire day being lost. Almost it felt like time was being wasted, and I act very negatively to lost time. If a day gets done and I feel like I haven't accomplished anything, that's a bad day for me. Even if it was fine, even if it was like if I told myself today is for resting, and if I accomplish that, perfect, check mark. I get to feel better like that. So I don't know, is there anything other than your like the affirmations and stuff that you've been able to kind of adopt to help things out a little bit here?
Meditation has been the big one, and just changing your mindset. Instead of I woke up in the morning and be like, here's everything I hate about work, opposed to here's some things I actually enjoy about work and it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And it's just about flipping that switch from negative to positive and looking at the good thing. And I know not everything's good, but if the positives outweigh the negatives, or even if there's some positive, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more relaxing, and it doesn't make it so bad to go in every day. You can't escape it, right? You can't escape work. You have to work in this life. You have to pay taxes. You have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes. And they're great. No one likes paying taxes, but you got to, and you got to look at it in a way that, oh, look, it actually helps me kind of, except if you're in Ontario right now.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's no good. Well, Alberta's right behind you guys. To be honest, we're just shit throw. I wanted to ask you something you said right at the start was about going to E3, not enjoying it, and I think it relates to like expectations. I think in most things in life, disappointment causes a lot of this, like darkness and negative feelings, is when you think something great is going to happen and it doesn't. And I think it's magnified for E3.
I don't ever think like that. That's the problem.
That something's going to be great and then it doesn't happen?
Terrible is going to happen. I only expect the worst, and that's something I've been working on changing a lot. I go into everything thinking it's going to be terrible. So if anything does good happen, it's like, oh, cool, which is not good. That's not a good way to. So no, my expectations for E3 were not high at all.
Oh.
But just the thought of going and playing demos, it doesn't excite me. And like playing a game early is okay, cool. Like here's a half an hour of a game that I won't be able to play for another year. And when I get that game, I'm gonna have to replay this 30 minutes that are probably pretty boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not gonna give you the good stuff, right?
And who wants to hear that preview? It's like, this isn't very good because nobody will believe you, even though they haven't played it themselves. So yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
It's not, I don't know, I could just watch the same thing on YouTube, right? Like, it's not that exciting. And standing in line, and I was lucky enough I got front of the line for pretty much everything I wanted to play. But still, it's a demo. A lot of people, just a lot of negativity in the air. Mm-hmm. And just the game scene fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I know people are going to be listening and be like, wow, that guy's a dickhead for saying that. But there's just so many people at the top, and like a lot of people that are going to the front of the line. I was like, you are bad people. Like you spread hate and negative energy, and you hate women, and you're some of the biggest streamers we have. And like I saw Boogie everywhere. That guy is an asshole. Like I don't want to see that guy anywhere. And just going to parties and meeting a lot of these people. It was just they weren't everything I wanted. It was there was a lot of social awkwardness to it and a lot of ego, and it just wasn't pleasant. And it was a very white male dominated place to be. Yeah. And that's just how it was. That was pretty much the crowd. There was very few women. There was very few people of color. It was mainly white males.
And you can only talk to us for so long before it just gets kind of boring, right? I mean, aside from all the other things of why you might want diversity, like, okay, so it's official. You're the last white guy I'm ever having on the show. This is it. No more. I'm just kidding, man.
No, but yeah, so I don't know. It was fun. It was fine. But again, there wasn't that many big games that weren't coming out in the next few months. Like Spider-Man was a huge presence. Now that's come and gone. I mean, God of War was there. Like games we'd already played, games that were coming out soon were there. There wasn't anything huge that I really wanted to play.
Would you go next year then? Probably not. Give it another
depends.
chance.
It depends on what I'm working on. It depends on what I would plan to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't write anything about E3 because I got back and it was everything had already been said and I had no interesting angle or nothing different to say. I mean, here's what I thought about Ori and the Blind Forest 2. Incredibly hard to just pick up and play because I don't remember how to play Ori and the Blind Forest and it is an extremely hard game. The Kingdom Hearts 3 demo was fun. It's very Kingdom Heartsy.
Yeah. How are you, man? I'm inspired. I'm always inspired by you, but I'm also inspired by the fact that you're writing. Whereas like I've been a little vocal lately about, and maybe for various reasons, that I'm like, maybe I'm just not writing anymore. Like maybe I shouldn't write anymore. But like before we chatted, I had a moment where I just like, I had a couple things on my mind. And I just like, I filled a page with just like stuff. And I'm just like, why don't I do that more often? Like there's nothing quite like just, you got a couple thoughts and just kind of like articulate it in a way like, oh man, that actually isn't too bad. I don't know why I'm not writing too much, but Brockstar Gaming is your home. You built that over a number of years, and now do you think that it's gonna take a different direction, or like what are your thoughts and direction for that?
I have 2 new writers on, which is cool. So they're covering a lot for me in the more traditional sense, and I'm gonna take a backseat and really write about what I feel like. Like I have a Daredevil thing I need to finish, but that's been really hard, and again talks about drinking and Catholic, growing up Catholic and stuff like that.
Yep, Catholic guilt.
'Cause that's Catholic guilt, man. And being Catholic but not really being told I was Catholic, it's strange. So I'm working on that still. And then one of the writers is we paired up for a CBC thing a month ago, 6 weeks ago, for the Xbox Adaptive Controller. And I worked on a little segment with him, and it was helping him play with one of his best friends he's never been able to play Xbox with.
That's
because
awesome.
He didn't have full motion of his hands. So the Xbox Adaptive Controller was the first time he ever could do that with. So he's going to be writing a bunch of reviews for the site using the Xbox Adaptive Controller. He's working on one for Call of Duty, among other things. His name's Luke Williams. He's a great writer. He also works at the CBC. So there's some cross connecting there, which is cool.
Very 2018.
Yeah, I forget what the question was, but yeah,
We're
so I'm going to keep on writing.
No, it's good, man, because it was
I
heartbreaking to hear. It was heartbreaking to hear on the site, on the podcast, you going like, man, I haven't written anything in a little while, and I was kind of half expecting like one day for you to just go like, you know what, the website's not going to be a thing anymore. And I mean, ultimately, like it's your choice, and like that's. I would understand, to be honest, because I'm right there with you. But I'm like, I'm heartened to hear that you're back at it, because it's like, I don't know. You're good at it, first of all, and you're great at engaging other people. I don't know why the hell you do it. Like, I still don't really understand, like why you're like, hey man, this is my friend so and so, and I'm like, why don't you? I don't know. You don't like silo your the relationships and partnerships that you've made. I don't understand. I don't understand that. Why the hell do you do that?
I like helping people. It gets me off. I mean, for a long time, I was helping other people because I wouldn't help myself, so it made me feel good. But now I can help myself and help others, and that's what I do. And I give a lot of people shit, but I give a lot of people shit that don't deserve that kind of success or don't deserve that kind of love that they get, and they get away with that stuff. But good people, like real good people, help out no problem. I think we need to help each other. What's the point? I mean, I can sleep a lot easier knowing I helped someone that day. And it feels good, and they deserve it, and I think everyone needs that break, and everyone needs that opportunity for a little extra help every once in a while.
That is like the most genuine thing. I don't have any. I don't have a question that could possibly like end
This is
on a
weird.
better note.
It sounds so weird that we're having a conversation. I'm being genuine for once, because usually I'm just being.
Well, I'm always trying to
spouting
pull it
shit
from
over
you. I'm
now.
always trying to like, okay, because people can go back like over the years, and I'm like, there's something here. Like, I mean, like we used to joke like, oh man, you look like a handsome Conan O'Brien because your hair back then was just kind of a little more like that, and we would joke it was surface
today,
level.
Man, it's so big.
No, it's so good. It's just so great. But we always, I don't know, we connected the moment that you came on it. I think you might have been like my 5th or 6th guest. Like those first 10 episodes were so crucial.
Yes.
Like, what are the chances you and Bobby in like the first 10, and Seamus Mulls was my first guest. I couldn't be luckier, man. And you've helped me from the moment that we met, and we've now actually met in real life, and we've sat next to each other on a couch.
Mm-hmm. We've met each other a few times in real life.
Streamed together in real life.
Yeah,
playing Fortnite.
That was fun. We played some Fortnite.
I think I almost ended our friendship that day. I think he almost dumped me or something there. But I've always been very appreciative for everything that you've done for me, and I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people can reach back into their history with you and call it a point where their life changed for the better. So I thank you for that. I know a lot of people thank you for that as well, man. Now that as we close things out, tell everybody where they can reach out to you.
That makes me feel really good, though. That's what I like to hear, and that's what I wasn't realizing I was doing, I never thanked myself for that. Like I never cared. I was just like, oh, okay, I did that.
But we need to be better to tell you that too. We all need to be better. I need to be better at telling people like I appreciate you for like this very specific reason. So
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
You're always there. You're a nice dude, even though you don't play fucking Fortnite with me.
I know that's the thing. That's okay. So that is my life. Like that's my brain. What you just said is my brain, 24 hours a day. It's like everything's great except for this one thing. You're completely worthless. Like I have all these great friendships, but I don't play Fortnite, so like they're all meaningless. Like, God damn it.
I'll play floors with you, man. I'll play whatever. You never kick it with me. I need something to play for the rest of the day. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I know it's just the real.
I want a story-based game. I want a short story-based game, and I can't get into Tomb Raider. Oh my God, I don't like this one.
Me neither.
It's a walking simulator, and you press X every few minutes. It's fucking. What? I like the last two so much.
So
I
did
shipped the last one. I was game of the year, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love the last one. This one is so incredibly boring. And ridiculous. Like the storyline is ridiculous.
I know. It's so sad, and it reminds me of Deus Ex, and I was like, why don't I like this? And it's same team as the last Deus Ex game. And for me, there's a couple things, but the skill tree I think is super boring. If I look at a skill tree and I've got all these different options, and I'm like, I don't want any one of those. I don't care if I save up all my skill points. Doesn't matter. Assassin's Creed is totally opposite. One of the first options is this is Sparta kick, and you're like, yes, give me that. And the next one
is really all you need. That this is Sparta kick is the best thing in the entire game. It is bad ass.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point I won't spoil, but like it's a huge character in your character's life, and you get a chance to Sparta kick him off a cliff, and it feels so dope.
I think I'm right there.
Spare him or just kick him, and I was like, fucking kick him.
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about where people can reach out to you, man? Where can people find you and all the podcast here? We didn't get to talk about that very much today, but people know that by now. But let them know.
Yeah, you can find me at brockstargaming.com. There's a Starlink review going up tomorrow. Today. It'll be today that you're listening to the show. It'll be out today because the embargo lists. And I was gonna review Starlink. I played enough Starlink to not review it for certain reasons. I did not want to. I have a lot of friends that worked on it and did not want to say anything. So I'll let someone else say something for me.
Yeah.
We're reviewing it on the Xbox. I have a Switch version as well. I'll probably just review the toys. The toys are cool. I have some of them sitting over there. They're cool. They're neat. I wish the best on this game. That's all I can say. I love the Toys to Life are still a thing. That's really cool. Star Fox is in it for the people that like Star Fox. I don't know why you do. Star Fox has never had a good game.
The final insult of the episode. We'll cap it with some positivity in that I think Ubisoft has two of the most fun games this year for me were Far Cry 5 and Assassin's Creed. Just like for me, top notch. But I know you didn't love Far Cry 5, so
but Transference is cool, and that's Ubisoft, right?
Cool. Yeah, very good year.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter, Brock McLaughlin, Instagram if you wanna find me there. You wanna hit
See
me
the
up on my
mustache.
hot photos. I don't know, man. You can find me on the podcast usually every week. Game Moose. There's a hiatus this week, but yeah, you can find me there. And I'm working on 2 new projects, which is exciting. One I've done a lot of, and one I've never done. And I will say I'm doing them so I can hold myself accountable to get them finished.
The vague saying that, or at least putting it out there as non-specific as you did, it still creates the accountability in your center.
Yeah, like one I finished the first draft of yesterday, and I'm really stoked on it. So I'm gonna probably smoke a lot of weed later.
Nice.
Because this is the last weekend it's illegal in Canada,
Hilarious.
so I'm taking full advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, once it
'Cause
becomes legal,
we
just
think it's
quit.
legal on the 17th.
Yeah.
And I think a big thing about Jordan, I smoke a lot of weed. Like I think everyone knows it at this point. Like brands will send me like Xbox and stuff like hit me up in memes about weed. I'm like, yep, that's fucking me, all right.
Well, they just sent you.
but-
Did they just send you that controller, the greaseless controller, and then all the goodies that you had? Yeah, grease free. Yeah.
I posted that, and one of them messaged me yesterday. They're like, "How stoned did you get?" And I was like, "Well, a lot. I watched 4 episodes of some House on Haunted Hill show and don't remember any of it."
Oh, I gotta check that
So,
out. Oh my gosh, I gotta catch up
It's
on
good.
Netflix.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It was
Yeah.
really creepy, like terribly, terrifyingly creepy. I love it. It's right up my alley. But yeah, so yeah, that it's gonna be a fun week for me. It's gonna be a lot of green. But I didn't smoke before getting on the show today, so there's that.
I got
but
the
my
real
eyes
you.
look really busted.
I mean, you can't. It's all blurry anyways because of Skype and everything. So it's all. Everybody should check out on Instagram for clear eyes. Here's the thing, man. The last thing I'll say before we cut this off is, as a new baby comes and it becomes tougher and tougher to like carve out time for this, I still want the show to continue on. And I think the way to do that is just to have like friends on. So like it can't be another year before you're back. We should do
Okay.
a Brock and
Yeah.
Sean Christmas special. We'll put on
Yes,
our best
I'm in.
Santa Claus outfits. You can be my
I don't
sexy
even
Santa Claus.
leave my living room to do this. It's so easy for me.
Yeah,
let's
it's nice.
let's do this.
Yeah, it's way better. Yeah, not having to go to Ryan's house and everything like that. Okay,
It's cuffing season. Maybe I'll have settled down by then.
I don't know what that means, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. Thank you, Brock, for your time, man. This has been awesome to chat with you today, dude. I really appreciate it.
All right, here's my muscles. There you go. Bye.
Yes, that is what We the GamerCast is all about. Brock and I, the Canadian accents, I think weren't too bad. A couple of outs and oots and all the boots. Couple slip by, but that's okay because I thought that was a great conversation. So thank you to Brock, everybody. If you would like to take to the Twitters, everybody. Don't do the negative stuff that's all on Twitter. You can like take a pause on the negativity on Twitter. Go shed some positivity. Brock McLaughlin is like Brock McLaughlin on Twitter. Go send him some love. Little hearts. Tag with the GamerCast. Tell me you appreciated the conversation today, and because I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to check out, subscribe right now. Go to your already you got the podcast app open, whatever it is, Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts or whatever. Game Moose Podcast. Yes, it's Canadian, but many people would say that that's actually why it's great. Or you could also say, in spite of its Canadianness, Game Moose Podcast is such a great time. All those guys know actually a lot about gaming. And they're hilarious. A couple dick jokes in there for you guys as well if you like. And be sure to check out BrockstarGaming.com. Support Brock. He supports me. He supports a lot of the things that we do. It was a blast getting to hang out with him in Toronto this past fall. And I just have a lot of deep appreciation for Brock. So guys, please share the love. It would be great if you did. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You can follow the show, We the Gamercast, or the website, We the Nerdy. And if you really like, you can support us at patreon.com/makeusbetter. Support PSVG, Warp Whistle Gaming, Nintendo Nostalgia, and all the things that I do. With this here, We the GamerCast is supported by you. The Xbox Drive is supported by you. Twitch.tv/Sean Capri is supported by you. Feel like there's one more. Oh, if we're at Nintendo. Sorry, Bobby. If we're at Nintendo, it really does help a lot, and it means the world to me that you guys do that. Feeling better. I recorded that thing at the start of the show. I recorded that yesterday. I'm recording this today. I'm feeling a little bit better. Good old heart-to-heart with Brock always helps. And writing things down helps and all the things. I'm gonna go to EB Games in a bit, actually. And now that I talked to Brock about not playing Call of Duty, I think I might be going to buy Call of Duty, so we'll see. Stay tuned for that. I'm Sean Capri on Xbox, if you guys like. I'm not telling you what my PlayStation name is, but I probably will be changing that soon. So thank the Shuhei. I want to thank also Gary Gray and Adam Leonard for drawing the things. I want to thank Antonio Guillen for making the video look great. But otherwise, this is episode 174 of We the GamerCast. It's now in your ears and your eyeballs. I'm going to be back next week with another guest, probably Canadian guest. So thank you guys for listening, and hope you're back next week, all that other stuff. Now it's time for Jason. He's around here somewhere. I think he is anyways. Jason!
Jason! Jason! Jason! Jason! Sean! 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 Sean, where are you? Jason! 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 Sean! 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 Jason! 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 Jason!